Scientist H, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, for her address, please.
Namaskar and good morning, everybody. Being from the Department of Biotechnology, I thought of putting title of my slides today, DBT, Driving Biotechnology Transformations in Genomics and Data Science, because in this particular talk, I will be covering some of the success stories of DBT in genomics and data science as integrative approach. As in earlier speakers, they have mentioned about BioE3 policy. Yes, it's really a proud moment for us that Union Cabinet chaired by our Honorable Prime Minister had approved this BioE3 policy just a year before. Only yesterday we completed 1 year of this policy. And it's not just a policy, but it's a DBT's commitment for sustainable and innovative growth, and so that we can face the global challenges in this sector. And keeping in view the recent developments through biotech programs and the future advanced technologies we are working on, we have kept the target of bioeconomy to enhance up to 300 billion USD by 2030. This is reported in the BIRAC's report. During this year, we released that report. And that is possible through continuing our developments through innovation, and definitely biomanufacturing we need to focus, because we are now at that stage where we can target our own products through our own industry and for our own people. I would say that's specific to our population. DBT is implementing BioE3 policy and other activities under BioRide scheme, approved during last year for 5 years. And under this BioRide scheme, we are funding many programs in all the sectors of biotechnology, health, agriculture, environment, energy, and other all areas. Health sector is definitely a prominent sector. And when we talk about health R&D, genomics is a core area for that. And when we talk about genomics R&D, it's always a population specific. It's not moving ahead. Yeah. As earlier, Dr. Chris also mentioned that we are a huge country, 1.4 billion. And of course, it's a diverse population. We have diverse population with distinct genetic pool. And we have maintained those distinct genetic pools because of our systems of marrying in specific community and within relatives, and that is going on in different communities. And because of that, we have unique genetic pool in our country. However, what is global scenario tells us about Indian population? Does it cover sufficiently in the global genomics data? No, it's not. Even total South Asian population covered under genomics data of global data sets, it's just 2%. And if we do not have a proper coverage of our genomic data of our own population in global data sets, we can't go ahead in the genomics research, because it's a population specific. And if we need to work towards our population, we need to have our own genomics data sets. And that's why we discussed before 4 or 5 years about Genome India project. Initially, we in fact discussed Genome India project to take ahead in 2 phases. Phase 1 for healthy population, phase 2 for disease population. So far, we could complete Genome India phase 1, that is for covering of 10,000 individuals, healthy individuals, and it's a huge initiative so far. Covering the project is implemented by 20 national institutions. Over 180 manpower were involved in the project, and we could do sequencing successfully, though when we launched this project we faced the difficulties due to pandemic during those years. However, our scientists have done really commendable job. They went to remote areas, they could do sampling, though they faced many difficulties, and finally we could successfully did this project. And it's not only in the numbers, but if you will see the initial analysis done by our scientists, Genome India team of the Genome India data, we have found over 7 million novel variants which have not been found so far in the global data sets. That itself is a major success, and we can see because of this genetic variation we could find out in our own people, and that's why now we can definitely say that Genome India project was really important, and that's the best way we could boost our genomics research with our own genomic data sets for our own people. Now, when we were discussing about Genome India project, that time we were discussing about artificial intelligence through Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog had launched AI for all policy that time. And that time we discussed many different issues. 2-3 issues came up through the expert groups, that even if we will have a data sets here and there through different projects, whether those data sets were in a structured form, if it is, where to store those data sets, how it will be shared further with the researchers, what will be the mechanism. All those issues were discussed in around 2019-20, and that time all these projects came up, and Department of Biotechnology applied the integrative approach. When we started implementing Genome India project, simultaneously we have set up IBDC, our own biological data center. So far all our data is going to NCBI, EBI, because it's a compulsion for the researchers to submit the data to some data center so that they can get the accession number, they can publish their research and all that. But when we discussed for Genome India project, we thought of having this not only as a project, individual project for by some scientists, by some institutions, but it was a project to create a national resource, and that will be shared with our own researchers in future. That was a plan put forth from the beginning itself, and that's why IBTC was very important. We have set up this center with all international norms. EBI team, NCBI team, they visited this center. NIC is on the board, and they are doing auditing through safety and security. All these aspects are taken care of. Whole Genome India data is now available on IBDC. IBDC's sharing, data storage, sharing, all these aspects are being implemented through Biotech Pride guidelines, and recently we have developed feed protocols which are again by following the international norms. There we have discussed about 3 types of data: open access, control access and no access data, and Genome India data is under the middle way on managed or controlled access. Then during this year, when we were ready with Genome India data at IBDC, and we were ready to share this data in a safe mode with our researchers for further research, our Prime Minister has said about Genome India as a big milestone in genomics research, and that was really a proud moment for us. When we have implemented the Genome India project, many of you might be aware about human gut microbiome project also. See, earlier, many times what was happening, we were implementing many different projects, but those were in isolation. But during last few years, we are, again, I am emphasizing that we are working towards the integrative approach, and this is also one sort of project in that pipeline. Here, the sum of the individuals for gut microbiome project and Genome India project, they are common. Common sampling has been done from, I think, if I am correct in number, maybe 300 individuals. They are, and that analysis so far is pending with the scientists. I'm seeing to us, Dr. Thangaraj is here, but definitely very good outcome will come up once we will analyze the data from that common sampling for Genome India whole genome sequencing as well as the gut microbiome. Another project, when we are talking of data science, definitely imaging, medical imaging especially I'm talking about, is a very important area. We go and do many ultrasounds and radiologists, and it's a common actually in hospital area. Many such images are lying in different hospitals, but there is no structured way of working on those images where we can think of some predictive models for future analysis of early diagnosis of some diseases. Here is one example. This project was implemented in collaboration with Niti Aayog, and we have from the beginning for this project also our target was to create such example and put this all whole data sets on IBDC. That was the initial objective, and accordingly we worked on that. We have over 300 participants covered in this project. Many more radiological slides have been assessed, many images have been assessed. They have developed predictive models and algorithms for future predictions, early predictions for the cancers in head and neck and lung cancers have been covered in this project. This whole data set and along with the algorithms they have developed, this whole data will be available on IBDC. We are in the process of getting uploaded it in IBDC, and very shortly that will also be available for our future science. And being this a successful model we have developed, we are going to set up some image centers, 4-5 image centers. Those will deal in different diseases, maybe some neurological diseases, ophthalmology, and many more, lungs areas, tuberculosis, and other diseases. Then we discussed about Ummeed program. Somebody mentioned about that. Yes, it's very close to my heart actually, because this program is providing direct benefits to the population in the remote areas, I can say. When we thought of Ummeed program, that time only two components earlier we had planned. One was to set up the infrastructure in the government hospitals. Why in the government hospitals? Department had funded many genetic labs earlier, much earlier, I think 20-25 years earlier. When I took over the health research area in DBT, that time I contacted those genetics labs, and most of them genetics labs were, they had closed the working in that area. And then I thought of, if we are thinking of a long-term planning for the nation, then it should go in the channel, proper channel. And that's why we decided to have our Nidan Kendras. Nidan Kendras means the basic infrastructure for testing and diagnosis of common disorders. For those we have decided to go for the established hospitals, and thus we have Nidan Kendras in almost 30 Nidan Kendras we have funded so far. And then there was one more component where we thought of giving training to doctors who are in the job, regular doctors. They are, earlier it was a big question whether doctors will come for such a big training of 6 months. Will they get leave from their own job like that? But without all those, we kept those questions aside. We thought of giving training to government doctors only. And there we have trained many doctors. They are going back to their hospitals and they are submitting the proposals for the facilities to be funded under this program in their hospital. They are starting special OPDs for human genetics, and that's the impact going on to the benefits of the population, general population of the country. Now, in the first phase itself, we could see the much better outcome. Oh, I forgot to mention the third component we have included there, that we will go in deeper areas in aspirational districts, and there we will do the screening for prenatal and for children. And in each component we are covering 10,000 women, pregnant women, and 5,000 children. And so far we have expanded this program now nationwide after the successful phase 1 pilot project that was implemented in just 5-10 institutions. Now it is across the country, you can see in the map, and we are expecting good results. But what next? Yes, definitely this program is a part of government's national policy on rare disorders. This is a very prominent program there, and much more is expected from this. I personally feel that once this whole network is established after 3-4 years, all these projects will be completed from DBT side. I hope Ministry of Health will be ready to take up this network, to continue it, and maybe after some years we could see the national screening program in place for the country, for our population, because rare disorders number is not rare definitely in our country. In the same way, if you are aware, department was funding bioinformatics network from the beginning itself. It was a core pillar of DBT from its inception itself. And during 2020, now because of so many advanced technologies are coming up, we are talking about AI, ML, and all these advanced IT technologies related to biosector. We thought of revamping our bioinformatics network, and this time we have incorporated one innovative component into it. Each bioinformatics center, earlier we used to see that biologists, they don't want to collaborate with bioinformaticians, and in isolation the sector can't grow definitely, and therefore we thought of collaborating them through these programs. Each bioinformatics center has given the responsibility to run one national network project. For example, if one center is working on some drug molecule, or say for example in rice, in agriculture, if they are working on bioinformatics for rice, they should collaborate with all the biologists who are working in labs on rice, so that all wet lab outcomes will come to them, and then the analysis part will be done by our bioinformaticians. That's focus has been given here, and the projects are going on, and again it's a network which is all over country, all over, spread all over the nation. And here, what I said it initially also, and now also I will give it the emphasis on that, that it's an integrated approach we are following during last few years, so that the outcome from one side will go to the other portion. There, the further work will be done, and the whole whatever outcome or benefits are coming out, those benefits should be available for future research in our country. And that's why all these programs like bioinformatics network, also we are going to connect with IBDC, so that whatever tools, softwares, algorithms, or whatever outcome is coming, it will be available on IBDC. That's our target. Like Persistent, they have done this Mano project, which is Atlas, Cell Atlas, and that was also successfully completed. They have developed many algorithms. They have trained almost more than 3,000 personnel in AI technologies. And many other projects. This is just a slide as an example, but many different programs are going on in DBT, and we are definitely going to connect one after the other with IBDC, so that everything will be at one place, which is the national data center for our country. And what next? In all these areas, we are planning of, Dr. Chris talked about 100,000 project. Yes, as I mentioned, we discussed it from the beginning of the Genome India project, and now the Genome India phase 1 data is available for researchers. We are going to fund many projects where the Genome India's data will be utilized through IBTC. That is one side. But on the other side, we are going to plan about Genome India phase 2, that may be for disease population. Initially, we discussed for rare disorders, lifestyle diseases, neurological and cancer, of course. These are some of the initially identified and being discussed areas for Genome India phase 2. Then IBDC, yes, we are going to expand its capacity if we require. We are in that position. No issues with the expansion of capacity of IBDC at all. And we are going to bring all cohort studies, which we funded earlier also. We will try to bring those data sets to IBDC. And then it's maybe early to mention this, but we are definitely in advanced stage. We are discussing with INSDAC, and we are going to become a member of International Nucleotide Sequence Database collaboration very shortly, and that will be our biggest achievement, because this collaboration is having only three international centers: NCBI, EBI, and Protein Databank of Japan. And ours will be the fourth one, maybe. As we were discussing with NCBI, EBI team, they mentioned that China, South Korea are also in discussion with them for this. So this is in advanced stage. We are taking some administrative approvals. NCBI and EBI team, they have accepted our proposal informally, so far I am saying, and we are in the process of doing this. Then Umid, definitely, as I mentioned, I see this program to become as a national screening program at one point, and that is very much important, because especially for genetic disorders, prevention is better definitely than cure. Cure is not up to the reach of our Indian population actually. Therefore, prevention definitely we should focus we should focus on rare disorders in pregnant women and early detection, so that better counseling and better management should be done. And once one thing I must mention here for Umeed, as so far we are funding this program in the government setup. As we go ahead, like for national screening program, if government takes this stand, definitely our industry will also come forward on some for different taste or like that. Our Indian industry will get the demand to work in this area, which is lacking at present, because they don't find that much more is required from the industry, and that's why I think we are facing those issues. Then BTIS net next expansion, once this phase will be done, we will definitely think of, and we will go only for the advanced technologies, advanced tools, and some different advanced algorithms. Based on those research, we will fund BTIS net 3.0. Of course, under BioRite, I said initially also that these are not the only areas we are funding in agriculture, we are funding in environment, energy, all these sectors we are strengthening. And so far, our focus was on human resource development, on R&D, on innovation, but definitely during last few years, we are ready for biomanufacturing. Make in India should be focused now. Our industry should come forward, and definitely Department of Biotechnology and the whole government is with the industry, and it's really the scenario is really changing. Earlier, it was not like that. I am working in DBT for last 35 years. I have seen that we were only as a government we were working, but now it's a really as a collaboration. We don't feel now industry is a different than government. No, it's a very strong bond we have developed, and definitely like BIRAC also. BIRAC and DBT is it's completely one. It's nothing like a BIRAC is a different organization like that. It's an integrated part of DBT, and therefore it's not like that DBT is not funding industry. DBT is definitely funding industry, and not only DBT but whole government is with industry, and therefore make in India, for our own people is should be our main agenda. Thank you.